So we're going to continue with text analysis. So I want you to turn to page 17 of your stack, and I'm going to go to my slides and turn to page 27. All right. So let's think about passage 1 from the chapter Children. We're going to look at these passages and we're going to be analyzing them. Remember, you're going to choose out the text things like clues the author gave you to kind of give you a different meaning of the passage. So maybe a hidden message, a little different than theme, but something like, well, maybe the character said this because he thinks this is happening. Or, let me think, like Ivan thought back to his dad. Maybe his dad was really pretending to be asleep that time. Ivan was annoying him instead of really sleeping. So let's read this one. Maybe if we do a couple, it'll make a little more sense. Oh my goodness, I never yawn until I start recording with you guys. All right, passage 1 from Children. I think the hardest part of being a parent, Stella added after a while, would be keeping your babies safe from harm, protecting them. The way silverbacks do in the jungle, I said. Exactly, Stella nodded. You would have been good at protecting too, I said confidently. I'm not so sure, Stella said, gazing at the iron bar surrounding her. I'm not sure at all. So let's think about what's happening in this passage. So Ivan's saying, that Stella, she has this maternal or this mom instinct, and she would be a great mom. And so maybe what's happening in the first paragraph or two is, let's look at the word protecting them. I'm trying to see if my tools, here we go. So let's look at protecting them. So they're talking about in order to be a good mom, you have to protect them. And Ivan said, the way silverbacks do in the jungle. So maybe what's happening is this means like to protect your babies, you have to have freedom. If Stella had a baby in the zoo, there would be no protecting. There's no harm to them. So in order to protect them, you have to be in the jungle. You have to have freedom. So that's what this first part means up here, that in order to protect, you have to have freedom. So I'm going to just circle that. We've talked about this part. And this is like super deep thinking, okay? And it's going to come with you as you get better reading. So don't worry if you're really not understanding right now. We're going to walk through these, and I'm only going to have you do the last one because this is a little tricky to do. All right, let's read the second part. Exactly, Stella nodded. You would have been good at protecting too, I said confidently. I'm not so sure, Stella said, gazing at the iron bars surrounding her. I'm not sure at all. So let's look right here. I think a big part of this section right here is her mentioning, the author mentioning that she has iron bars surrounding her. She's caged. So my text analysis would be that Stella knows that being behind bars would prevent her from having the control to protect her babies from harm. So when you're in captivity, Stella couldn't have protected her baby from the humans if they wanted to tie down her feet like they did to Stella, and that's how her foot got hurt. So there's things that Stella can't. I'm going to go to your slides real quick. I'm going to write this down. And it's not letting me. Okay. So let me go to yours. Okay. So this is what yours should look like. So this is what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the bars surrounding her. And what I think that means, essentially, is that, Stella knows that being behind bars would prevent her from having the control to protect her babies from harm. She knows that these humans can do anything they really want. They can separate her and her baby, and she can't control that. In the wild, and if she had freedom, she'd be able to do what she needed. She could move her baby like she needed to do out of harm. She could rear up on her hind legs and warn somebody that something bad's about to happen because she's protecting her babies. So to me, that's what that means right there. Let's look at the second one. Let's look at passage 2 from the parking lot. I gaze out at the huge sign that makes humans stop and spend their hard-earned cash. I have to admit that the picture of Ruby is rather cute, even if she doesn't look like a real elephant. I wonder if Matt could add a little red hat and a curly tail to the picture of me. Maybe then more visitors would stop by my domain. I could use a few oohs and ahs myself. So what do you think's happening here? How do you think Ivan's feeling now that Ruby's there? I want you to look right here where it says, I wonder if Matt could add a red hat and a curly tail to the picture of me. What do you think that means? How do you think that makes Ivan feel? Do you think maybe he's feeling a little less of himself, like not as confident? Maybe he's feeling, a little lonely now that Ruby's there because he's not the main attraction. Ruby's picture's up. She's cute. She's young. Everybody wants to come see the baby elephant. So maybe what's happening right here is Ivan's feeling very lonely, very very lonely since Ruby's attracting more people, maybe a little sad. So you're just going to add your text box, just like I just did. Ivan is feeling sad that Ruby is now the attention. And if you want to make more highlighter boxes, you click on it, you right click, and you say copy. And I'll make another one, okay? And then paste. And I'll make more. So you can even put it right there. All right, so let's look at from a hip. Ruby stands alone. The bright lights make her blink. She flaps her ears. She makes her tiny trumpet sound. The humans stop eating their popcorn. They coo. They clap. Ruby is a hit. I don't know whether to be happy or sad. So how do you think Ivan feels in this passage? So let's look just from him saying this right here. How do you think Ivan is feeling now that Ruby's there? It kind of ties with what we said from the parking lot. So maybe Ivan's a little sad that he's not drawing attention, but do you think he hates Ruby for that? Do you think he's very envious or jealous of Ruby that she's drawing all the attention? I think Ivan's heart is so kind that he's not jealous. He's just sad he's not the center of attention. So I would say Ivan is happy for Ruby, but sad that he is not drawing all the attention and that he is old news. I think that's what's happening right there. So we're really just talking with each little section about how the characters are feeling, maybe something hidden in them. So you're going to do that for this passage right here. I'll read it to you real quick in case you need that. So let's read it. From Knowing. Stella once teased me that elephants are superior because they feel more joy and more grief than apes. Your gorilla's hearts are made of ice, Ivan, she said, her eyes glittering. Ours are made of fire. Right now, I would give all the yogurt raisins in the world for a heart made of ice. So I'm going to go ahead and show you which section I want you to super focus on because this is really hard to do. I want you to focus on this right here. What do you think Ivan means when he says that he would give all the yogurt raisins in the world to have a heart made of ice? Why would Ivan's kind heart want to be made of ice? So you're going to do this one for me. I'm going to check this. And then I want you to do your comprehension check, just so I make sure that we're understanding what's going on in the story. If we look back at our rising actions, mine got deleted because I accidentally closed out. Let's see here. I can't find it now. Okay, anyways. Oh, right here. Silly me. The rising action. We did have another one. Ivan makes a promise that he will take care of Ruby. And what else happened? The saddest part of this whole book, probably. The saddest part so far, at least. Our good friend Stella dies. That is so sad. And then we can go to our cause and effect on page 12. And we can fill in a couple of these. We know that there was a change of Ivan becomes old news. The cause of this is Ruby arrives. And because Ivan becomes old news, Ivan becomes sad, right? And feeling left out. What other change happened? What if I told you Ruby takes Stella's place performing? Why did she do that? Why did they have to get another elephant or something cuter other than money? Stella's foot hurt, right? And Ruby didn't want to do it. But like we talked about earlier in this video, humans can make animals do things that they really don't want to do. There's ways to force an animal to do things. And did the people like Ruby? Yes, that was the effect. People loved her. And our last one, Stella dies. Why did she die? What caused Stella to die? Her foot didn't get the attention from a doctor it needed, right? Mac didn't call the vet. He said, it's not that bad. We can't afford one. We'll just wait. Well, that wasn't fair to Stella. She got so sick from that foot, probably an infection, that she died. Her whole body just shut down. And how did everyone feel about that? What was the effect of Stella dying? Everyone was sad, weren't they? They were just so sad. So like I said, go ahead and complete, I think it's page 20 of your SAP. And this is all we have for today, all right? I will talk to you later, guys. Bye.